Welcome to All Change, the programme that puts design at the heart of the learning experience. Today we're at Woodway Park Secondary School in Coventry, and over the course of a single weekend we're going to be transforming a maths classroom. So Steve, this is Launchpad. Tell me about your thinking and how this has been laid out.
Well, this is part of the inclusion programme, and the idea is that we give support to a range of students, those with specific learning difficulties, those with behaviour issues. And the room's been specially put together, so we've got small areas that we call pods, which in these small areas you'll have groups of 3 and 4 working together, not necessarily with the teacher, but with some outstanding teaching assistants. We have some outstanding teaching assistants in schools and some specialist reading support assistants as well. And the children will come here withdrawn from lessons for half an hour or an hour and then go back into mainstream. But the idea is to have much more of a relaxed atmosphere in this area of the school. And you can feel from just around this area that it's very effective. During the recent SATs exams, we used this area very effectively to have students who wouldn't be able to cope with sitting in the main exam hall. And we had up to 30 students who completed all their exams this week, happily sitting their exams in this area, and it was very, very effective.
Another area which has recently been transformed is the sixth form centre. The students did it all themselves.
We identified a small budget and offered the sixth formers their chance to redecorate, which they welcomed warmly. They purchased the furniture and chose the furniture themselves from a very well-known retailer that came flat pack, and then they spent all weekend putting it together, and this is the result. It's their area.
And they chose the colours as well?
They chose the purple colour. I have to be honest, I wasn't too sure about it, but they like it, and that's the most important thing, and it's their area.
John, it's looking a lot brighter in here already. How's it been going?
Pretty well, actually. In fact, the teachers have been terrific. Really have. They've actually worked very, very hard. I've got one more blind to go on here. The yellow that you can see, all that's disappearing. That's going to be white. Down below was going to be white, but of course, Andy was saying that's not going to be practical with the children. So the grey paint is actually more hard-wearing and it won't show up so many marks. The blue behind, because remember this was going to be the blue room, it's now going to turn to green. The reason being because the tables are green.
So actually the rooms are actually going to hang together much better with the grey and the green.
Just simplify everything. And of course we have a new whiteboard.
And it looks a lot more modern as well because you've actually painted around the edges and it looks almost metallic with the light reflecting off it.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't like to paint over the wood, but it was sort of very marked and very old, so that simplified it. And of course, talking of modern, we have this sort of mesh canopy to actually go over here to diffuse some of the light.
I can't really figure out how that's going to work, what it's going to look like, but I'm trusting you, John.
Oh, don't trust me, I'm just doing as I'm told. And of course out here, now room 2, as you can see, nothing wild and wonderful yet. Everything's been painted out white. And then all these graphics, you know, the big symbols with the numbers on them as well.
Yeah.
And they run right around. We've got the red, we've got the orange, I think, and there's the blue and the green. They also come across right across the glass. So just as they come up the stairs, they'll have this sort of colour coding. It'll start from outside there.
Time to get the green colour scheme in to match the new furniture. The plastic sheeting to help colour code the rooms is a low-cost but very effective feature. Andy Hobday assembles his new wheeled storage units. He's finally getting his own area in the room. And a posh new chair.
You wouldn't necessarily think of building a house of straw, but with modern construction techniques, anything's possible. Architect Sarah Wigglesworth lives in a straw-built house, and she's taken her ideas and her experience of sustainable materials into her exemplar design for a primary school, the Big Rug School. The house at Stock Orchard Street has won a clutch of awards, including the RIBA Sustainability Prize in 2004. It's the home and workplace of an innovative, passionate advocate of sustainability. The design principles used for this building were incorporated into Schools for the Future exemplar design.
What we did here were ideas that we then transferred into the school. So, for example, one of the first things we did was orientate the buildings towards the sunshine, and that's why in the house behind me here you've got a lot of glazing, because that gets a lot of sunshine and it works like a conservatory heating up the air inside. We've got what's called passive ventilation, which is that air can enter the building through louvers or holes in the floor, and it's drawn up through the building, through the big tower that you see there. And just through the natural thermodynamics that hot air rises, it draws the air through and cools it in the summer. We've got a grass roof up there, which keeps the temperature stable, and in the summer you can irrigate it, and when the water evaporates it acts like a refrigerant. Very heavy insulation is another really key factor, and that's where the straw bales come in, because they are huge bats of insulation essentially. And we've also used other materials like in the gabion walls straight ahead there, which are recycled concrete from other building sites. So all of these things were ideas that we then transferred into our school. The school is like a rug. We call it the Big Rug School because it has a warp and a weft that create a sort of tapestry of various different activities that are taking place on this ground plane. The classrooms, the idea being that they're very flexible with these sliding walls and different arrangements of desks possible, and that their contact with the outside is absolutely paramount, so that the gardens immediately around them are like outdoor classrooms. But the main sort of strip that holds all of the school together is the garden. The major spaces are all around it, and this central room, which is an outdoor room, we call the inner habitat, and it contains all the sort of intense world of gardening right in the heart of the school. And then the third space, which we saw as really important, is what we call the Learning Forum, and that is like a library and a place for doing IT and a place where you could have a breakfast club, or you could have an informal classroom and so on and so forth. And anybody can go in there, and it's the public face of the school.
Sarah Wigglesworth believes that sustainability should be at the forefront of thinking about new schools, not an afterthought or a curiosity.
It really needs a bit of a mind shift, really, on everybody's part to see the possibilities of what green building can offer.
At Woodway Park, a green stripe in the maths reception area designates the room that we're transforming. Students are in helping with the new displays, and the mathematically pure curved mesh is being put into position. The new desks need putting together. Display boards need trimming. We're not that far off now.
John, how's it all going?
Well, actually, we're getting there. Not too much to go. Furniture's in, chairs have got to come in. Most of the painting's done, apart from some little touching up. That's in here. Whiteboard's all done. The blinds are all up. It's outside, really.
For decades, interior designers have been using lighting to create the right mood in indoor spaces. Recent research into learning environments has also shown that the quality of lighting can really enhance the teaching and learning experience. Here are some ideas for lighting to illuminate your school. Stylish top lighting from this unit. Uplight and downlight with this one. Diffused and direct light with these. These give effective lighting accents. Clip-on illumination. For the head's desk, coloured mood lighting could have a role. And these modern ceiling panels might provoke some creative ideas in your school. The British Educational Suppliers Association have a code of practice which all their members comply with. You can find details of all these products on the Teachers TV website.
Stylish new chairs to accompany the new green desks. John Craig's in sign writing mode. Plastic lettering to order the maths rooms. The brief was to give the maths department a clearer identity and branding. And to create a more focused learning environment in the classroom. And a more ordered space for the teacher. New displays, better blinds, and a hyperbolic curved mesh focal point completed the look.
So John, 2 maths rooms this weekend. Did you manage to find the winning formula?
I think so, yes. I mean, it's very simple. Again, we found that perhaps less is more. The grey and the white I was a little concerned about because it did look a little industrial, or battleship grey, I think it was. Having said that, the fact that we've colour-coded all the rooms, you know, the red, the blue, the yellow, the green, and it works well with the green furniture and the green notice board, was just enough, I feel.
And the lights as well. You've done something to draw attention to the front of the class and diffuse the light.
Mark had this idea about drawing the attention to the whiteboard. And it does actually work. You do seem to focus in there. And of course it diffuses light somewhat.
But I can see that it may be a small temptation to throw things at it and see if you can hit the target.
We'll wait and see.
And you've really given Andy some way to control the lighting in his room, haven't you, as well, with the blinds on the window and the lamps?
He didn't actually have an area for himself before, which I found rather bizarre. Now he's even got a trendy little chair there and his own desk. And of course the lights behind him, the uplighters, which you'd find more in a sort of trendy office. And I'm a great believer in it shouldn't look like a typical classroom. I think you can sort of add more of the corporate feel to it. And also, like with the chairs as well, they're not the old sort of metal chairs that we used to have in the old days. I believe they're designed so that you can't be leaning back on them. I tried it, it's not too good.
That's no fun, is it?
It's a maths lesson. They were never fun in my day.
The rooms were transformed within a budget of about £2,000.
So Steve, it's all finished. What do you think?
I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's bright, it's different. I'm really looking forward to see the kids' faces when they arrive on Monday morning. I think the graphics are absolutely brilliant, and I really like the way the colours link up the different rooms.
And now it's all painted, it looks like quite a big space. Do you think you could use it for other activities?
Certainly, I think that we have to use this as a kind of breakout area. And what I was actually thinking, that we could bring ICT into this area with a connection from the ceiling and a kind of central pod here as well, where students can come out from the 3 main areas and work in this area as well. Because it's not really used effectively, this space, so it's got a lot of potential.
And Andy's pleased with his room, isn't he?
I think he's very happy. I think he won't stop smiling.
Shall we go and have a word with him?
I think we should.
Andy, caught you working hard there. What do you think of your new room then?
Well, I think it's great. I mean, just look how modern it is compared to how it was before. It looked quite old-fashioned, but with the nice bright colours. I think it's really made a difference.
And Steve, has it given you ideas that you can carry through the rest of the school?
Certainly food for thought. I'm waiting for the queue of up to 50 staff outside my office on first thing on Monday morning, all wanting the same. But what I'm particularly happy about and really thankful is all the staff giving up their time this weekend. Staff have been fantastic this weekend. They've all mucked in and done a great job, particularly Andy, who's been here for the 2 full days. I think that's because he didn't trust us what we were going to do with his classroom, but it's been well worthwhile. It's been an enjoyable weekend.
Well, we've had a great weekend. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, thank you for all your time and effort. Much appreciated.
If you've been involved in an exciting design project or would like help to transform an area of your school, we'd love to hear from you. You can contact us through the Teachers TV website, where you'll find details of today's programme. From Woodway Park School, it's goodbye from all change.